Hello, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. Most people have hobbies, and most of those hobbies are rather inexpensive. But there's more to hobbies than gardening, gaming, and fitness. Some people fly airplanes, golf at expensive resorts, or collect expensive cars. Then there are those hobbies you might describe as extreme. This is Australia's Armourfest, and it's one of the most intense hobbies of them all.
We enjoyed the restoration because a lot of the parts are usually they're destroyed or they've been fired at or anything else. Then you do a lot of research to find out exactly what they should be like, or even go places and copy parts which are in good condition, and usually remanufacture a lot of parts, which I quite enjoy doing, all the fabrication work.
Nick Rutherford is an employee at Axis Track Services in Suffolk, UK. The company restores military vehicles like tanks back to working conditions.
The Panther was that good at the end of the war. The French scooped up all the Panthers they could find in France, including our one, the one we did.
Rutherford was instrumental in restoring this World War II-era German Panther tank. The museum also provides a year-round look into military history, featuring genuine pieces from World Wars I and II, Northern Africa, and the Pacific. It's an annual event hosted by the Australian Armour and Artillery Museum in Cairns. Visitors can see tanks, armored personnel carriers, and anti-tank vehicles, while also learning about their roles in historical conflicts. Armored trucks and tanks have little in common with sports cars, but that doesn't make them any less fun to drive. This is the Goodwood Festival of Speed, one of the world's most renowned and celebrated motorsport events. It takes place annually at the Goodwood House in West Sussex, England, and celebrates the history of motor racing, from vintage cars to current Formula One machines. Attendees get a chance to witness some of the most incredible cars ever built in action, while celebrating the past, present, and future of motorsports. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, and other high-end vehicles not only get a chance to show off their impressive designs, but also to compete in the one-of-a-kind showcase, which includes timed races and other competitions. Throughout the festival, attendees can get a close-up view of million-dollar racing and hobby vehicles, as well as restorations and modified cars and trucks. Cars are flown in from all over the world to compete in the one-of-a-kind showcase, which includes timed races and other competitions. But speed isn't for everyone. For 3 3/4 scale locomotive builders, their hobby is all about attention to detail. When considering model trains, one might envision electric toys placed atop a table. But Jim Davenport, a mechanic from Seattle, Washington, prefers the larger designs.
This is called the tender, and what its job is to hold water and hold fuel. In the old days, there was either oil or coal, and sometimes early on wood. I started off with small trains and worked my way up to this, which is 3 3/4 scale. I built the whole thing myself in my garage. I started off with castings and did all the machining. Well, not all of it, but 90% of it. And I assembled it myself in my 2-car garage.
Davenport builds and rides 3 3/4 scale locomotives. Whenever possible, he takes his creations to Chiloquin, Oregon, to visit Train Mountain, the location of the world's longest model train track.
Started in 2008. I finished in 2011, the day after I retired from Caterpillar. And I came here, and I've been running it here ever since. It's a 3 3/4 scale model of a 262 Prairie locomotive that was used mainly on short lines and, out in Nebraska. That's why it was called a Prairie, because they used it across the prairie.
Both the scale trains and their tracks feature remarkable attention to detail. There's even a functioning turntable where volunteers can get a very realistic experience. Hobbyists who have an appreciation for antique vehicles will also find themselves drawn to cars. This is the Vintage Car Racetrack in Chipping Norton, United Kingdom. It's a place for hobbyists from all over the world to meet, race, and talk about their passion. The course is hardly designed for a simple, pleasant drive. Instead, it is muddy, twisty, and challenging, which helps ensure visitors and their vehicles get a real thrill. Many of the vehicles here are well over 100 years old and have been carefully restored through months of hard work. England boasts a rich history in the automotive industry, being home to iconic vintage car brands such as Aston Martin, Bentley, and Rolls-Royce. This heritage fuels the passion for vintage cars, as many enthusiasts are drawn to the stories, craftsmanship, and legacy of these historic vehicles. The track gives them a chance to experience what it was really like to drive and ride in one of these ancient automobiles, even if they sometimes need a little help. Those who prefer their vehicles to be a bit smaller can make their way to Jakarta, Indonesia, for Jamnas Vespa, a gathering for Vespa enthusiasts, collectors, and riders across Indonesia.
Oh, ada tentunya, yaitu Vespa, ya. Kenapa saya pegang Vespa? Karena itu kendaraan unik. Sudah lama, sudah uzur, tapi semakin digemari dari kalangan semakin banyak yang menggemari dari berbagai kalangan. Jadi sering saya melihat Vespa itu dimanapun di seluruh Indonesia.
Vespa scooters have enjoyed a long-standing popularity in Indonesia, dating back to the mid-20th century when they were first introduced. The brand has since become a cultural icon, symbolizing freedom, style, and a sense of community among its aficionados. Participants often show up with all sorts of unique modified vehicles, each one representing a completely new take on the classic scooter design. The modification process itself is a huge part of the culture. Enthusiasts use scrap metal and other vehicle parts to craft their own personalized vehicles, sidecars, and shells, turning each Vespa into something completely unique. This has led to a sort of ongoing competition regarding who can create the most unique and interesting design. While Vespas used to be quite accessible, they're not prohibitively expensive for many living in Indonesia. And since Indonesian roadway rules tend to be pretty lax, most of these modified scooters go straight from the backyard or garage to the streets. While this is all in good fun, some hobbyists take their vehicle modifications much more seriously. Here in Thailand, street racing cars are as much about how they look as how they drive. It's not uncommon for some extreme car designers to start with models before beginning work on the real thing. Unique body shapes, additions, and paint jobs are common, often resulting in cars that look almost nothing like the original. Owners are known to add roll cages, engine upgrades, massive tail fins, and custom paint jobs to their complex rides. The car owners treat their vehicles like rolling works of art, ensuring they always look and drive their best. This includes constant maintenance and upkeep. As always, the real fun is getting the cars out on the road and showing them off to fellow hobbyists. Owners love to show off their latest modifications and compare them to what others have done. At each event, the customized stickers are like a badge of honor. Whether a person is passionate about tanks, trains, cars, or scooters, it's the community that really makes it worthwhile. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.